The Cheating Death Podcast is a comedy, random, and truth-seeking podcast containing information, subject matter, language, and course material that may not be suitable for all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised. Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or comments. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we get into Operation Mockingbird, a clandestine operation put forth by the CIA post-World War II throughout the Cold War to combat the Soviet Union, an attempt at creating a propaganda machine that would have the masses believing just about anything to justify further conflict. We provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a joke of the episode, and more. So grab your best blanket, your coffee, put your feet up, and let us show you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Throughout the 1940s and 1950s, it has been widely understood and known that the propaganda machine put forth by the United States government has been second to none, understanding that the National Security Agency, in whom is the current propagandist machine today, puts forth so much clandestine attempts to not only steal your data, but also hold you accountable for things that you may not have even thought. It is a veritable Minority Report in 2025. Thought crimes are indeed becoming a thing, and you must understand that caution is to be exercised in every aspect of life. You are strong, you are capable, and you are capable of anything that you can put your mind to. Just do not be malevolent and don't be a dick. Remember, there is no end, but that does not mean you cannot find a way through the tunnel. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, eine gute Nacht. Deine Reisende, deine Ausländer, deine Allesfresser, deine Cleric of Chaos. Understand, dear listeners, we are in a time of unprecedented proportion. 2025, there are ways that you can be monitored without you even having the slightest hint of any potential interception or interference within your life. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, the United States government was so concerned that the Cold War would soon be brought to a boil, that the Soviet Union would indeed be the demise of the United States of America, that the Great Red Scare was something that we should all be deathly afraid of. Well, rest assured, there was no Red Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure that you are all firmly in support of the fact that America is still indeed in some way, shape, or form free according to the Second Amendment. This was not the case in the 1940s and 1950s, dear no. For Operation Mockingbird was an operation put forth by Director Wisner of the Central Intelligence Agency, therefore known as the Office of Secret Affairs. Understand that this project was meant to build a superior propaganda machine than to that of the Soviet Union, to utilize against their perpetrators and their adversaries in a form of non-violent but chaotic and calamity-ridden combat. There is no way to describe how Operation Mockingbird infiltrated the absolute bottom line, the guttural, visceral aspect of people's lives, all the way down to the granular details. It was meant to create propaganda for the American people to stand firmly on the sides of capitalism, firmly on the sides of America. It is in this time that the campaign was built and developed over the course of a decade, all the way in from 1946, all the way in through the 1950s, The clandestine attempts in order to obtain information on the Soviet Union's dealings and activities were second to none. It was during the espionage-ridden affair that this particular program led people down the rabbit hole of that you really started to understand the desire to win, the desire to control. Operation Mockingbird and Mr. Wisner's goal was not necessarily just to create propaganda. It was designed to be utilized as a tool, as a mechanism, as a complete and utter form of sheer manipulation of the masses. There are numerous examples of this going on in today's life and in today's form, but it has changed. It has shifted its shape from being something that is directly in front of you on a government level with gentlemen and ladies spewing vilest venom across the land. It is to be noted and understood that the 1940s and 1950s were indeed a lot more of a turbulent time, given the nature of the post-World War II life and era. But in 2025, we have social media where governments could literally look at anything that you say or anything that you do, and instantly you are on their radar. In the United Kingdom, it is alleged that there are examples of people now being arrested for things that they are placing upon social media. If this is indeed the case and that has not been blown into proportion and there are not a litany of backstories behind the reasons for the arrest, then this is absolutely something that needs to be addressed. However, the absolute devastation and trail of horror that Operation Mockingbird left in its wake is still felt to this day. The National Security Agency exists as a byproduct of Operation Mockingbird, as a byproduct of the numerous CIA covert operations in the 1970s and 80s, including the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, which we will cover in more detail in another episode, including MKUltra, including Operation Clandestine, which in all of these situations and circumstances, these are highly covert and now declassified operations. You have the opportunity to learn for yourself just how much you have been lied to, not only as a citizen or a denizen of the United States of America or Canada or North America as a whole, but as a citizen of the world. Be careful with who you share information with. Be careful in whom you open up to. Be kind. Live freely. And don't be a dick. What are your views on Operation Mockingbird? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. On today's episode, we promised you a top 5 list, so without further ado, our top 5 current favorite gum brands. Yes, we mean chewing gum. Gum is indeed great. Coming in at number 5, we have Trident Fieldberry, because Fieldberry gum is always ever so spectacular. Coming in at number 4, we have Dentine Ice Spearmint. Coming in at number 3, we have 5 Gum Peppermint. Coming in at number 2, we have Hubba Bubba. And coming in at number 1, everyone's uniquely favorite gum, Big League Chew. What are your top 5 favorite gum brands? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. Be careful when you condone and participate in road rage, because you might find yourself in a road cage. Whether or not you believe Operation Mockingbird was the be-all to end-all, the creation, the absolute blueprint for all the propaganda campaigns you see in today's society, it does not change how concrete and how pillarous it was for the United States government to take on this level of manipulation of the masses. There is no excuse for how their behavior was and how the time was utilized to manipulate the citizens and denizens into believing things that may not necessarily have needed to be believed. What is your opinion on Operation Mockingbird? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. The Cheating Death Podcast has been brought to you by Nach dem Leben CRDVC, Chaos Worm Records, and CR Deutschland. You may find the Cheating Death Podcast on all major podcasting platforms. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so at the links in the episode description below, and if you'd like to follow our friends, producers, and consultants of the program, you may also do so at the links in the description below. Questions, comments, or you want to leave some reviews, email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com, twitter.com/weallcheatdeath, or twitter.com/cleric of chaos, and leave us a review on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your major podcasts. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, please have them call 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from their mobile phones in the United States or Canada.
If you or anyone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call 1-800-273-8255. And if you know anyone who is looking to adopt a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. Remember, life is hard. We're all going to find a way somehow, someday. Remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.